Hi everybody, it's that time again for Top 20 for 2020, the series being done by Joe the Horror Man and Jason from Horrific Nightmares. The theme this time was your top 20 slasher films of the 2010s. So here's mine. Number 20, I'm going with Dark Signal. This is a Welsh supernatural slasher with a very nice cameo from Cinzia Monreale, who is the actress from Lucio Fulci's The Beyond. It's a bit of a mess, but it's got great atmosphere and some really cool ideas in this one. So, number 20. Number 19, I'm going with a very underrated Wes Craven film, My Soul to Take. I think that this one, along with his werewolf film Cursed, is the most underrated film from Craven, and he himself was really miffed at the negative reception this film got, because he was very proud of this film, and he should be. I like it. It's a really cool idea. It's well made. So, My Soul to Take, number 19. Next is a nice little formulaic slasher. There's a lot to be said sometimes for just a straightforward slasher film, and Lake Tomahawk. I think this is also called Lake Alice in some markets. Yeah, simple but effective. Next up is The Bleeding House. Some may quibble, is this really a slasher film? To me, yes it is. It meets the criteria for a slasher film. This is a gem. It really is. The guy who made this, it was his first film, and he set himself the constraint of making a film in one location with few characters in order to discipline himself to learn the craft of writing and filmmaking. And he really did an amazing job. The writing in this is some of the best writing I've ever heard in a film. And it says on the back here, one of Maxim magazine's best horror flicks you've never seen. Now, I guess a lot of people watching this have seen it because it isn't that unknown, but brilliant film, The Bleeding House. Next up, The Windmill Massacre. I think this was a Dutch production. A lot of fun. Interesting idea. I really wish that they had continued this saga because he was the Miller, I think his name. A great villain. I wish they'd made a sequel. Okay, next up is Feartown, USA. I also could have included the slashing here. This is a pair of films by the amazingly talented Brandon Basham and the team that he uses. He uses the same actors. Feartown, USA is the funniest horror comedy I've ever seen in my life. It's one of the funniest films, full stop, I've ever seen in my life. It is brilliantly done, so cleverly written. The acting is absolutely on point from every single person in this film, and it's a gem. So Feartown USA, released by Trauma. I think this whole thing has been uploaded to YouTube on the Trauma channel, so check it out if you haven't. Maybe your sense of humor will differ to mine, but I thought it was hilarious. Next up is Bedeviled. In the 2010s we saw a lot of social media / internet horror about the horrors of new technology. This is one of them. I like it. It's got some legitimately creepy moments from this fella, that villain. I can't say I fully understood what was going on towards the end as a technophobe. A lot of it went over my head, but really cool film. Next, Lost After Dark. This is a common one that I'm guessing will appear on a lot of these lists. A nice homage to 80s slasher films, and it does subvert expectations in the order in which characters die. So, excellent. I think, is it Robert Patrick was in this as well, from Terminator 2? Next up was a big surprise, All Through the House, a Christmas slasher film. A surprise because I originally had this in a 3-pack of Christmas horror films, and the other two were absolute crap. Red Christmas and Silent Night, Bloody Night, The Homecoming. So I thought this one was going to be the same, but no, it was fantastic. It says this should become a holiday tradition for horror fans. It will for me. This is a definite Christmas watch every year. And then rounding out number 11, just before getting to the top 10, this is the second time this film has appeared on these lists. Unhinged, it appeared on my top 20 remakes list, so I won't say any more about it, but I love it. Not a great film by any means, but so much fun. Into the top 10, number 10, Children of the Corn, Runaway. Believe it or not, this, in my opinion, is the best of all the sequels, and there have been something like 9 or 10 of them. But Yeah, what I love about this is it kind of continues on from the original film. I'm a massive, massive fan of the Children of the Corn franchise, even the really crap entries like Isaac's Return, 666, and Revelation and Genesis. I like them all in their way, but this is so well made and well acted. This was a major surprise. So Children of the Corn Runaway at number 10. Number 9, Terrifier, one of the most straightforward films I've ever seen. No plot to speak of, it's just Art the Clown terrorizing those two young girls. Fine by me, don't need any more than that really with something like this. Art the Clown is one of the greatest horror creations of the last 20 years, and I really hope that Damien Leone continues this series. And I'm torn on whether I want him to go into the backstory of this character to explain it. I don't know, do I want Art the Clown to remain a mystery, a terrifying mystery, or do I want to know who on earth this character is and where he came from? Not sure. I'll leave it up to Damien Leone to make that decision. Next up, The Sleeper, another kind of homage to 80s slasher horror. Rest in peace to the star of this film, Brittany Belland. She very sadly took her own life 2 years ago on Thanksgiving Day. She also starred in Clowntergeist. So yeah, I do get a little bit sad when I watch this because she seemed to have been a wonderful, wonderful person who was struggling a lot, and just in the end it was too much for her. So rest in peace to her. But anyway, a really good film, and very well made, very well directed, just a lot of fun, The Sleeper. Alright, next up, maybe a strange one, Wrong Turn 6, Last Resort, but believe it or not, this is my favourite sequel in the Wrong Turn series. I really love the setting of this. I think it's a magnificent setting. How on earth they got it with such a limited budget, I don't know. For an entry into a franchise I don't think anyone wanted by this point. I also like that they toned down the gore for gore's sake in this one. You know, I can't stand Wrong Turn 2. That's a lot of people's favourite film, but it's just too sickening for me, too disgusting. I'm not really keen on, nauseating gore effects. So yeah, I like it. I think it's got good atmosphere. I like the turn that the story takes, and I think they will never make any more of these films because of the controversy involving this film. That kind of buried the franchise, but anyway, I really enjoyed it. Next up, The Final Girls. Enormous fun, really clever idea, and it's going to be on most people's list, so I don't need to say much more about it. But yeah, very original film. Next is from a guy who I've been singing his praises for a while now, John Nort's The Girl House. Nort's is 4 for 4. All 4 of his movies are fantastic. This one, The Shrine, The Cleaning Lady, and Goddess of Love. This is an excellent slasher film, which takes place in some kind of online pornography Big Brother kind of thing. But it's not as sleazy as you would expect, which is a good thing, not a bad thing, because if it had been it, they wouldn't have been able to focus on some of the cool elements that this film does focus on, like a well-rounded and menacing villain. And the acting is very good from everybody. Fantastic lead performance by that girl. Next up, number 4, Happy Death Day to You. I could have included the original Happy Death Day on this. I love this. I know a lot of people don't like these films. They think they're goofy, but nothing wrong with goofiness. Yeah, and I chose this one over the original because I just think this one has a bit more heart to it. It's got that emotional story involving the tree and her mother. And her father as well. So yeah, Happy Death Day to You. Huge fan of these films. I'm not sure if they'll continue them. Hope they do. Number 3, Halloween 2018. This is a film that I love the more I watch it. First time I watched it, I wasn't that keen on it. I like a lot of people, I thought the characterization of Laurie Strode was very weird. If we're supposed to be ignoring all the original sequels, then why is she such a basket case? One of the characters mentions in the film, doesn't he, that what she went through in the original, not that all that traumatizing, really. Maybe for the viewer it was, because we see everything Michael Myers was doing, but she didn't see any of that, or almost any of it. So, but I put that aside with repeated watchings and viewings, and I've come to love the film, so I'm really looking forward to the follow-up. God knows how they're going to bring Michael Myers back from that, after blowing him up. Number 2, I make no apology whatsoever, Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I made a full-length video justifying my love for this film. I love it. I know most people hate it. That's cool. It's all just a matter of opinion, but I just really like it. So that's number 2. And number 1, Curse of Chucky. My favorite in the Child's Play series. Love the location. I think the pacing is fantastic. Chucky, some of the kills are great. The performance by Fiona Dourif, Brad Dourif's daughter, who is eerily similar to him in her appearance, is great. So much fun from start to finish. But again, the star of the film is the location, and the director makes excellent use of it. So that's my top 20 slasher films of the 2010s. I'm looking forward to what the next theme will be. Anyone watching this video who isn't aware of what this is, please go to Joe the Horror Man or Jason from Horrific Nightmares pages and maybe join in, because it's really interesting to see other people's lists. So thank you as always to Joe and Jason for organising this, and I will be back very soon with another video. Take care everybody, and bye for now.